What up, Bulls Nation? Peck here. We got a live CHGO Bulls postgame coming up for you all right around the corner. Bulls fall to the Celtics. 122-100 is the final. Bulls really miss Zach LaVine and his scoring tonight. Kristaps goes off from downtown. Patrick Williams plays well off the bench again. Plus, more reporting on Zach and Vuce and interest from the Warriors. We'll talk all about that next. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to CHGO Bulls postgame. Coming to you live from our studios here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. I'm Peck, Bulls_Peck. That's Big Dave. Bow, bow. BWL Sports, Will the Gottlieb, also known as the GOAT, Will_Gottlieb, perfectly coiffed, and the queen of the controls, the one and only Kitty. Dovey, what up, Kate? Hey!
Hi.
No dub. That is a dubless evening for the Chicago Bulls, who fall to the Celtics 122-100 in Boston. Lot of factors to this L. Zach is out. Certainly missed him tonight. Coby returns. I do want to talk about what we saw from Coby, but story of the first half was just like Kristaps saying, I'm going to chuck up a bunch of threes and I'm not going to miss.
Yeah, so the Boston Celtics offense is what that's called.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who it is.
He had 26 and a half.
Yeah, doesn't matter. It could be Tatum. It could be Brown. It could be Pritchard. Like, it could be Al Horford, but somebody's going to go crazy for that team. That's usually how their offense works. Someone hits all the threes, and then they just absolutely attack you on defense. And then they get you in a half-court game, which you don't want to play against them, and they execute you to death. And then when you try, they take the ball from you.
They're quite good.
They're a very, very good basketball team. And we just watched a very, very good basketball team. I mean, I believe they didn't trail once this game. They were just great. They started off on a 10-1 run.
It was 10-0.
10-0, excuse me.
Yeah.
10-0 out the gate, and
Bulls
they just
kind of
simply
came back
didn't look
into
back.
it in the first quarter, but I mean,
Lonzo.
yeah, Lonzo hit like 2 threes and got fouled on a 3 and made all free throws in like the first 2 minutes, and then did not score the rest of the night.
This is true.
That's just not his game. And without Zach LaVine, somebody needed to step into that scoring role. You saw a little bit of that from Coby in the second half. Vuce kind of laid an egg, 3 of 9 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3, and he is down to 26% on threes in the month of January.
Don't
he's
speak that
he's
so
Yeah,
publicly.
seriously,
we don't want
doing?
to talk more about that, but
You
you
close
felt
your eyes, kids. Close your
you
eyes.
felt the void left by Zach LaVine not being in the lineup, and to your point, Dave, it just felt like every single thing the Celtics did was exploiting a mismatch, whether it was Jaylen Brown having another guard on him and just putting him in the goal, whether it was Porzingis just stretching Vuce out or whoever it was and shooting these like 37-foot threes and hitting them. Derek White and Drew Holiday, it wasn't like they were killing the Bulls. Holiday was 0 for 4 from 3, but they just had so many driving lanes, the way that they open up the floor. Tatum didn't even have a good game, but they were so dominant up and down the lineup that he didn't even really need to. And I think that's kind of what's been going on with this team, is that they're so talented that no one really needs to step up on any given night to like really put teams away.
Yeah.
But when you're going against a Bulls team without Zach LaVine, it's a little bit easier to get away with that.
Yeah, and they definitely got away with all of it. I don't know how you guys felt, but watching it definitely reached the point where you were like, oh, this is where Zach usually takes over.
Right.
And since he wasn't out there, you felt it immediately, like, oh, this is going to be a long night, huh? Like, yeah, this is going to be a long, difficult night for the team. Because that's what Zach does.
He's a losing player.
Yeah, right. But that's what you see where that player fits in those gaps. And that second quarter gap towards the end of the half, you saw it. Like, okay, this is Zach time. Coming out in that third quarter, he also takes over in the third for them. Yep. Coming out in that third quarter, and they just immediately started running the Bulls right out the gym. Matter of fact, it was a turnover immediately, like as soon as they got the ball. Out of the timeout, with Josh Giddey taking threes is not the offense, for the Chicago Bulls. So you see what Zach does for this team. I mean, I'm not, reinventing the wheel here when I'm talking about this stuff here, but he's just really missed, and you see it when it's on the court. But take your time, Zach. Family's number one. Yeah. Okay? Family's number one, man. If you want to hang out to the All-Star break, I'm not mad at you, man. 3 kids, brother. You know what I mean? The young lady at home might need some help, more nourishment, more cuddling and things like that. Take your time, Zach LaVine. You deserve it, sir. You deserve it. Congratulations.
He sure does. You mentioned that turnover. I mean, turnovers have been a problem for the Bulls all season long. And this Celtics team is not a team that you need to do any favors for.
No.
Care to venture a guess what the points off turnovers margin was tonight?
Oh, man. For the Celtics?
Like, how many did the Celtics score off the Bulls and vice versa?
So, I will say 28 to
12.
6.
That was my guess. 28 to 12.
27 to 3. Points off
close.
Turnovers.
Right there.
Advantage Celtics.
Right there.
And look, some of that is that they are a respectable defensive team.
Yeah.
They got a lot of length. They contest a lot of shots. Josh Giddey got blocked by an Oompa Loompa tonight. I mean, come on. Really? That was embarrassing. But he also got scored on over the top by an Oompa Loompa. What?
He just got absolutely bodied in the post by Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah, that's the Oompa Loompa I was referring to. But it's careless turnovers are the ones that truly kill you, and especially against a team as lethal as Boston. That's just gross.
Careless whispers.
Shout out everybody hanging out with us in the YouTube chat, by the way. Hit that like button if you haven't done it, as Katie just asked you to do.
Wait, go ahead. So
I was just gonna say, like, turnovers obviously bad. That's like a problem that this team has, and it's one of the margins that they cannot afford to lose. But to me, it's just like, I mean, they made 15 threes. You probably got to make 25 on a night like this to beat the Celtics team. They're just way too talented. They just they were not going to win this game without Zach LaVine.
No, just wasn't going to happen.
It was damn near impossible to find.
Especially when you put the Celtics to the free throw line 27 times.
Ooh, jeez Louise. Yeah, and the Bulls just 12 trips to the free throw line. Not great. I do want to dive in a little bit more on Coby. You mentioned that he kind of bounced back after a rough start. He started this game 0 of 5 from the field. Ended up 6 of 15. So after that 0 of 5 start, he managed to go 6 of 10. So decent recovery. Maybe some of that is just knocking off the rust after his multiple, 4-game absence, I think.
I believe so.
He did have 4 turnovers, so there was some sloppy play on Kobe's part as well. Finished with 16. It's the first game back. It's a tough opponent on the road, so you don't want to put too much stock into it necessarily, but what did you make from what you saw from Coby tonight, Dave?
He struggled. I mean, that's really it. He struggled from the beginning, and it took him a while to put the ball into the bucket. And I think I expected it. I mean, 1, because you're coming back off an injury, but 2, you're playing against the Boston Celtics on the road. Some struggles are going to be had. He wasn't getting the calls either. He wasn't getting the hair fouls like he likes to get, the flinging of the hair. They weren't calling those for him tonight. So he had to try to rely on that offense, and it just simply wasn't there for him tonight. And I don't expect it to continue for him. I expected him to play kind of like this. I just was very interested in watching him and Lonzo and Josh Giddey on the floor together because that's what my eyes were on. What I saw, I mean, just looked like guys were in each other's way. Outside of Lonzo, who knows how to get out of everybody's way and just do his own thing. He understands that, but it felt like Giddey and Coby were kind of not meshing with their chemistry.
Spacing issues.
Correct. A lot of spacing issues. If Giddey wasn't driving to the bucket, then he really didn't have that. Or unless he was wide open from the three-point line and they would give him the ball. You didn't really hear from him. I believe he had like, 10-4 and 6 or something like that.
Giddey, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
10-4 board 6 times.
So he didn't have those games he's been having when Lonzo was just out there. Like I tell you, Lonzo makes life easy, for people. He takes whatever you don't want to do, he'll do it. And he knows he can do it. Oh, you don't want to play defense and shoot threes all day? I got you. No problem. 10-4. But now Kobe's like, hold on, I need the ball. I got to have it. It's my thing. And now Giddey's like, well, I'm just going to go to the bucket. I'm just going to drive. and I'm going to try to get these rebounds, and I'll shoot these threes because, you know, it's all I kind of got. Coby just was trying to find his way. It wasn't there for him tonight. That's all. I think it was just really that simple. What that's saying long-term about him and Giddey, I'm going to need a bigger sample size before we get into that deep discussion, because that's going to be a discussion after we get after we get some stuff on the plate. We'll be able to tell you how that food tastes.
That plate is not bare. There's already enough stuff on that plate that's making me a little queasy. That's looking like a plate of tofu and vegan this and.
Well, you got to throw the shots. Like it ain't even necessary.
I was just listing unappetizing things.
No, well, tofu, you hang with the wrong people, dog. Like, yeah. Whoever making the tofu.
No one likes tofu, let's be honest.
It's some fire tofu out
It's
there.
not food.
It's some fire stuff, man. I'm telling you.
It's not food.
The vegan options work, bro.
Anyway, but yeah, the Giddey Coby thing is definitely a curiosity, if you want to put it mildly, a worry, if you want to put it like me. Like, what do you make of that, Goat?
I mean, it's interesting to see it. This team is just so imbalanced in terms of the way that the roster is built out. Even without Zach, I mean, Billy went with the 4 guards we talked about pregame. Giddey, Dosunmu, White, Ball out there together in the backcourt. Obviously, Patrick Williams off the bench played well.
Mm-hmm.
Modest played 22 minutes, so he played well, and Jalen Smith. But I don't know. It's just like it's hard for me to really get a grasp on what these guys can do together when I don't imagine the lineup is going to look like this when this team is like fully actualized. Like they're going to have to get a forward in here at some point. And so it's kind of hard to tell, but I mean, Coby's going to struggle on his first night back. He started 1 of 6 from the floor in the first half and then kind of got a little bit hotter. He finished 6 of 15 for 16 points. So and he had a 3 taken away with his foot on the line. So it could have been even better, but yeah, I mean, I think it's more questions that you have about these guys individually at this point, as opposed to can they fit together? Because ultimately, like, this is trending towards, I mean, they lost again tonight. Sixers won. The 2 teams are now tied in 10th place. The Bulls have a slightly better win percentage, even though they've played more games. So we know where this is trending. The Sixers have won 4 in a row. The Bulls are actively trying to trade some of their veteran players. And I just think that it's going to get to a point where you have to decide, are you really trying to like flip the switch on this quickly and win the lottery? And now here we go with Giddey and Coby and Ayo and Cooper Flagg. Or are you going to have to, understanding it's pretty unlikely that you're going to get a top 3 pick in this draft, have to start to make some real tough decisions about who you keep around long-term and who's a part of this core. And I'm not saying neither of those guys can be or neither of them should be.
Sure.
I do think the Bulls should be open to moving anyone that they can get real value for. But I don't know. I'm not thinking about like which pairings work yet or like who, which 3-man lineup looks good together or what the identity should be. It's like they got to get the core guys in there. And maybe you decide if Coby and or Giddey are core guys. I don't think that there's a right or wrong answer to that at this point. But to me, that's the bigger picture that I'm thinking about.
Well, tonight's game specifically, Coby comes back and is out there with Giddey while Zach is out. And I think that is when you talk about who are the core guys, most Bulls fans right now, we're going to talk about a report later in postgame about the Warriors wanting Zach LaVine. Like, Zach is projected to be not part of their long-term plans. Giddey, because they went out and targeted him in a trade, seems like he is, whether or not some of us like that. And
but also,
Coby,
they didn't extend him or they didn't offer him an extension. So we don't know.
We don't know.
I think it's safe to assume that. But
of those 3 players, what I'm saying, Zach, Coby, Giddey, which 2 are most people making an assumption are more in the team's vision of future plans?
For sure.
It's Coby and it's Giddey.
For sure. My point is, I don't know that you should put in pen any of these guys.
Correct. Yes.
No,
fair point. I'm just saying, tonight's game, we got a look at Giddey and Coby together without Zach. And if that's what lots of future games looks like, do we like it? Do we not like it?
Right. Exactly.
Rob in the comments saying, Giddey and Zach works. Giddey and Coby, ugly to watch. Johnny saying, kind of want to trade Coby. Sad, but I'm ready for him to go elsewhere. Force Within on Coby's slow start, saying it seems like a common theme for him, starting games off slow. Anthony saying, have always been a Coby fan, but he regressed this year. Still feel like he's best suited for a 6-man role and don't think he fits with Ayo or giddy.
Mm.
Sixth man, obviously, is going to go to Modest Buzelis.
Yeah.
He's winning
clearly.
the Sixth Man of the Year award.
Clearly.
Duh. But yeah, Force Within saying, I love Coby, but I think if we get the right offer for him, we should do it, especially with his contract coming up. I see a lot of logic in that.
It's never like a criticism of a player
Right.
or saying I don't like them. Obviously, that's not the case.
No.
But it's just you have to. This is a business. There's a reason why everybody always says like you understand the business of the league. Like this is just the reality of the situation. These guys are on their contract for this year and next. You are entering a rebuild. And they've been in the league for 4, 5, 6 years in some cases. Kobe's this is his 6th year in the league. So you know what he is. And if you think that you can retain him or you want to double down on him and pay him more than, his extension is 4 years, $90 million. That's 22.5 per year. If that's not enough for him, like, are you comfortable paying $25, $30 million for him to be your franchise player? And if not, then it would be irresponsible not to think about what you can get for that.
Yeah. And that's why you could get value for Coby, because he is on that contract now and he is the player that he is. We got to take our first break there. Still plenty more to get to on tonight's game. We could talk about Pat playing well off the bench, plus more, plus that trade report. All still ahead on CHGO Bulls postgame. Hit the like. Ads. Just Vary the Life.
Vary the Life.
Postgame brought to you by our friends at Verilife.
Shut up, Bob.
Looking for the perfect way to elevate your day? At Verilife Dispensary, they've got everything you need, from premium cannabis products to expert advice. Whether you are new to cannabis or a connoisseur, their knowledgeable bud tenders are here to help. With 8 convenient locations across the state of Illinois, discovering your perfect experience has never been easier. Verilife proudly offers a price match guarantee, ensuring that you get the best value by matching local competitors' prices on all eligible products. So don't miss out on their latest deals and exclusive offers only at Verilife Cannabis stores and online at verilife.com. Be sure to try out their award-winning lineup of Matter products. Matter offers a curated line of premium flower strains and infused gummies, crafted to deliver consistent quality and distinctive effects for every preference. Also, if you place your order online, you can use promo code CHGO25 when you go to pick up in store at checkout to get yourself a nice discount. Again, promo code CHGO25 when you pick up in store and get 25% off one regular priced item. Restrictions apply. Just Vary the Life.
Vary the Life. And get ready for the season ahead. Because when you got that Vary the Life, you better cover them eyes. Because you got spaces to go. And a lot of people might be looking there. You don't know that. So get ready for that season ahead with them quality shades built to last.
Shout out Visey.
Oh, man. Our friends at Shady Rays have got you covered with those premium polarized shades that will not break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company offering that world-class product. That's rated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Their shades have durable frames. Their shades have crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for your outdoor. This gentleman is about to prove to you, your indoor adventures. It's a beautiful thing. They have hundreds of options to choose from, so you're bound to find a perfect pair to match your style. Plus, let's say you take that unexpected hit, like a hat throw that hit the ceiling.
To the rafters.
Pretty impressive there, sir.
That light fixture.
But let's see. He hit the light fixture and cracked those Shady Rays when he did.
No!
Oh, no. So sad. Oh, damn. But he remembers. That's his remember face. He remembers. Shady Rays will give you some glasses back as long as I sit available 30 days. Worry-free. That worry-free return, ladies and gentlemen, knows when you shop. And their team always has your back with that personal and fast support. So exclusive for the listeners out there, Shady Rays is giving away their best deal of the season. Head to ShadyRays.com. Use that code CHGO for 35% off those premium polarized shades. Driving south. The shades that are rated 5 stars, over 300,000 people. Because the Shady Rays, y'all, with the Rays are just so shady. Wow.
Shady Goat.
Shady Goat.
Shady Goat. Rolling right along in postgame. Shout out to our friend Jason Ashland, who said, funny, actually watching the Bulls trying to be a three-point shooting team when they can't ever hit threes on a consistent basis, can't play defense at all. Bad recipe for winning basketball. Okay.
Jason Ashland should start a Bulls podcast.
Truly. So many entertaining takes. I don't disagree with the middle one. Yeah, the Bulls can't play defense. We've known that all season. Can't play or bad recipe for winning basketball. That wasn't the goal this season, if you were paying attention. The can't be a consistent three-point shooting team. Coming into tonight, the Bulls were 8th in the NBA in three-point efficiency. The Celtics, who take all these threes, were 13th. Can we hush up about this yet?
No.
Can we hush up about this yet?
But I think that, I mean, if you just look at all of Chase and Ashland's comments, it's like starts with Billy, right? Billy's not, well, whatever. I don't have it in front of me, but now there was something about AK. Then there was something about style of play. Then there was everybody just plays bully ball. And it's like, I understand that there is so much frustration towards this team because they're disappointing you in all these different things. I think there's an element of like, where does the blame go? Who do we direct this frustration at?
Red team go.
To me, I've been consistent with this. Like, I understand that the players are flawed, the coaching staff has its flaws. Like, but to me, the vision, the people who are putting all this together are the ones that deserve the credit when things go well, and the blame when things go poorly. And this trade deadline that's happening 1 week from tomorrow is a big stepping stone for this team.
It's a biggie.
Because it's going to take more than, I think, just this trade deadline to set this team on a better path. I think you're going to see this be like, the second step, right? They did the offseason. You had Caruso trade. You had DeMar sign and trade. It's going to take some time. It's not going to be like a clean, blank slate, clean sheet of rebuilding this team the way that they did in 2021, where it was a complete overhaul. That was like pretty unique, I would say. I don't really remember a team, especially like mid-season, completely changing their team like that. So I do think it's going to take some time. I do think they understand the assignment and kind of know what direction they need to go. And it's a matter of like whether some of these teams out there are going to pay the Bulls what they're asking, or are the Bulls going to have to lower their asking price? And that's really what that deadline is going to force teams to have to consider, is like, okay, if we really want Vooch, is it going to be a first round pick, or are we okay with not getting him? And if the Bulls are sitting there on the other side of the table going, are we really okay with keeping Vooch, or will we just take a couple of seconds? That's where Thursday at 2 p.m. comes into play, and where that can really put pressure on teams. So obviously that's a huge point in this season. It's really what this season is about in a lot of ways, which is what it is. But I understand that there is frustration in every direction. And as you like to say, Dave, everybody gets a piece when things don't go well. But I am just very curious to see how they start to, or I guess continue to, turn this team over, because it's a big undertaking at this point.
That was such a great point that I couldn't comprehend at all, because you have 2 pairs of glasses on.
I think that's why I comprehended it. Because you got 2 glasses right there.
That's right.
It's like alien goat. I like that.
I'll take them off.
What?
It's hard for Katie.
Dread saying, tired of all the rumors on Zach and Vooch. Just get it done already.
Yeah.
Well, put a pin in that, because we are going to talk some of the latest trade reports later on in post game. Also, shout out to Alberto. Don't you worry, I got myself some Portillos, and I got a Bulls L. So double W for
Philly
for
win
me tonight. It's triple W.
Triple dub.
You ever heard of a double loss? That was a double win.
Oh, the classic double loss. You know who didn't double lose tonight? Just single loss tonight.
Please tell me.
Patrick Williams.
Hey,
he's part of that 1 L the team took.
that 1 L.
But
shout
hey,
out.
Did I not mention that in his 2 of their 3 games against the Celtics, the 2 that he played earlier this season, Pat had 14 points in each of those contests.
You did mention this.
Tonight he said, take them 14, here's 16.
That's right. But
This is me pretending to be excited about Patrick Williams having 2 respectable performances in a row off the bench, where he got moved because he was playing like trash.
That's trash.
But yes, another solid outing for Pat, who played more minutes off the bench tonight than a number of games he's played this season as a starter. He played 30 minutes. 30. You know why he played 30 minits? Because he had a pulse. And Billy was like, oh, you're breathing? Cool. You're allowed to stay out there.
He played 30. Dude. Oh, man.
Pat gets demoted and somehow promoted
at the same
simultaneously.
Time. How does that work? That is impressive. How does that work?
Well, part of it was Zach was out of the rotation tonight.
But for the sake of comedy, Will.
For the sake
of this is how?
Again, Zach's back, Zach's guard, or Zach's out, guard, Coby back, guard. I feel like Pat's number of minutes shouldn't necessarily apply.
They played 4 guards. It was still like, nope, Pat is getting his 30, man. Shout out to him with the 7 rebounds, though. Let's not forget those.
I was gonna say, if he was averaging what he put up tonight,
yeah,
16, 7, and 4,
be going crazy.
He'd be worth more than $90 million.
Dude, we be going freaking.
And obviously, it's a 1 game thing, and he's
2
got
now.
Right.
Well,
yeah, and quick correction, Johnny pitches in the comments saying 3 straight 10+ for Pat. Holy cow!
Oh!
That was actually incorrect. You're probably referencing the lower bar stat line that they put up on the broadcast on Chisholm tonight. That was incorrect because 3 games ago he scored 2 against Philly. And we all lost our freaking minds. So that was just some Patrick Williams propaganda you saw on your televisions at home tonight.
Patrick Williams propaganda is hilarious.
So it is 2.
Yeah, it's 2. 2 of them things. 2.
But 2 is bigger than 0.
That is. Huh? This is growth out here with the 7 rebounds and the 4 assists. Watching him bring the ball up the floor. He took 11 shots. Yeah, literally patting the ball. Took 11 shots. 7 threes, a couple of turnovers, not too bad, anything like that. Yeah, I knew he was out there on the floor. Like you said, Matt, having a pulse. Like, he had so much sweat that it was literally burning his eyes. He didn't know what to do. He was confused. This salty discharge hitting me in my eyes right here. He didn't know what was going on.
Can we have a... I don't know. We need to have a referendum on the frequency of usage of salty discharge.
Yes.
Okay, sure.
Please. Let's find another phrase.
We can find a different phrase that's a little less gross.
Discharge?
That's what I'm saying. I got it from Seinfeld. That's
Yeah.
literally where I got it from.
I know.
When he starts crying, he said, what is this salty discharge?
Salty discharge.
That's what he
I know.
said. Listen, I don't have time for all this nastiness. Seriously. Like, my brain ain't on no nasty shit.
It's just a gross word. It's like the word moist, how some people hate that.
What's wrong with moist? It's a real word.
I'm just saying, the word discharge is just kind of gross, and I think you can do better.
For some folks.
I think you can do better.
Yeah, but I won't.
I liked it. I thought
I loved it, Will.
Referendum over, as you were.
Yes. So the salty discharge. But dude, no, he played well. He did a good job out there on the floor. I was talking to Cody yesterday, and he was like, man, Pat played great and everything. I was like, Cody, he shot 41% from the field, bro. Like, he didn't really play great. He was like, well, it was just because I was just so happy that he actually had more than 10 points that I just absolutely went crazy. I get that. We're excited because we want more for Patrick Williams, and we want to see him do better. So I like the excitement. And he had 16 points to the point I got Matt from over in London hit me up.
Oh, C-Red UK?
C-Red UK was like, hey, Dave, close to 20 points. He's almost there. Yeah. And I said, slow down. We're not there yet.
From what I've seen on Twitter, the C-Red UK guys they have not left Patrick Williams Island yet.
No.
Some of the last remaining survivors.
No, they're still there.
They're eating tree bark.
Does bark upset you? Is bark okay?
Bark's fine.
Bark's fine?
Bark's fine.
Bark's fine?
Bark.
All right. Just want to make sure. But, yeah, man, like, he played okay. He played good. 16-7-4 is good in 30 minutes for Patrick Williams. That is a good game. He didn't do anything that I was just like, oh, my God, what are you doing? He didn't do too much of that tonight in this game. And against the Boston Celtics, who I thought that he matches up well with them, just size-wise. He matches up well with Jason Tatum and with Jaylen Brown. Now, they did have a couple of times where they put that dude in the bucket, especially Jaylen Brown. And Will was pointing this out the whole time, how Jaylen Brown, how physical he was being in this
Kobe
game.
down there. He was taking Io down there.
Yeah.
He was taking Lonzo, Giddey, everyone. He was just going straight to the basket.
Whoever wanted to go to church, he was taking them. And he was scoring every time. And, it was cool to watch a good player do stuff like that. But I'm proud of Patrick. Honestly, in the game that he had, because nothing seemed forced, nothing seemed crazy, and he scored in a myriad of ways. And, hopefully he keeps it up. We just want the consistency from this.
3 of 7 from downtown. Love that. 3 of 4 from inside the arc. That.
That's where I was going.
Go ahead, go. Oh, actually, you know what? We got to knock out this quick ad break. Then when we come back, Goat's going to talk about Pat scoring inside tonight.
He scored.
Hit the like. What you waiting for?
Now, Peck, what time is it?
Get out.
Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets easier than ever for anything that you want to see. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to wait time searching through thousands of tickets to find the best value. Curation makes it easier to find better value for tickets, sports, concerts, comedy, theater, etc. All-in pricing, they got that. Lowest price guarantee, they got that. The Game Time ticket coverage, which comes with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry, yeah, they got that. But guess what they also got? They got them sea views. Me and Mandy know where we sitting, where we stretching, where we hanging, where are the beers? How close are they?
Stretch.
And how close to the bathroom are they? I need to know where this is at. See, he's showing. This is why he got to do the seat views right here, because this is how he likes to sit at any concert, ladies and gentlemen. He needs to know if somebody going to be in front of him.
1.5 Peyton Pritchards tall.
He's right. That's just math, guys. That's just math. Oh, man. So take the guesswork, ladies and gentlemen, out buying those tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code CHGO. Get yourself $20 off your first purchase. I said CHGO. Get yourself $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time today. Because Katie, what time is it?
Game Time hoot.
Woo! After you get tickets at great prices to your next event on Game Time, get your picks in for the big game on Prize Picks. Ooh, big game. The biggest of all games in the throwing of foots. It's a week from Sunday. Throwing of foots.
They're throwing
Katie,
some foots.
is in footballs.
Yes.
Get this. On Prize Picks, Patrick Mahomes, that guy who's really good at throwing them foots, only need one Patrick Mahomes passing yard to get your free square on Prize Picks when you're building your lineups.
Just one?
Yeah.
Good money.
One passing yard from Mahomes.
Wow.
You can cash that right now.
Ching ching.
What about Saquon Barkley? 112 rushing yards? Man, Saquon's been a beast in these playoff games.
Barkley.
Yeah.
I believe it's his birthday also, so maybe that does something.
On Super Bowl Sunday?
Yeah.
Super Bowl
My
Sunday?
goodness.
Oh.
Check that out.
That's
Jalen Hurts, Travis
That's
Kelce,
special.
Xavier Worthy. Amazing skill position players in this Super Bowl that we have on deck. And
Stupid church league.
you can get some picks in on Prize Picks for all of them on Big Game Sunday. Also, if you use that promo code CHGO when you sign up after downloading the Prize Picks app, you get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's it. Again, download the app, put in promo code CHGO. You will get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. And you can win big even if all of your picks don't hit perfectly. You can even double your money on certain Prize Picks lineups if you have a miss in that lineup. It's easy. There's money. It's fun. You're going to watch the sports anyway because sports are fun. Winning money watching them is fun. So why don't you do what's easy, do what's fun, and run your game with Prize Picks. Yeah, so Goat, how about Pat?
How about
How
him?
about that one where he actually put the ball on the floor, didn't dribble it off his foot, crossed over his guy, created contact, shoved the guy off of him,
You
drew
sure
the
did.
found and finished through contact for an M1
Yes.
in the paint.
In the paint.
I damn near had a stroke.
You did. We saw it.
Well, that's what we've been talking, or I've been talking about, and
Oh,
you guys have
facts.
been agreeing with me
Talk
about
your shit, Goat.
this whole year with Patrick. Is that, like, I know he's a 40% three-point shooter. I know his shot will come around. I want to see him take steps of development towards being a shot creator. Can he create offense for himself? He needs to do that with the ball in his hands. He says he wants to do that more. He said when we talked to him after last game that there's more opportunity for him in the second unit to have the ball in his hands, and he liked being able to step up into that role. You saw that again tonight, but it's the consistency of getting downhill, attacking the basket, finishing, and getting fouled. And he did. He had 1 and 1 today, only one trip to the free throw line, but I appreciated his ability to, or just willingness to get downhill and try to attack the basket, because without Zach, there's not a lot of rim pressure on this team. And so he needed to do that. It wasn't like he, scored 40 points, getting 25 at the rim or something like that, but he had a really solid game, and you want to see more of that consistently from him. If this is like the best version of Pat, but he does it every night, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But you can't like disappear and score 2 points, an average 3 points a game for a week and then come back and like you need to have more consistency with it.
Yes.
And he knows that. And maybe this thing off the bench is really going to work for him. But that's really what the barometer for success is for me. I know he's going to make his shots. There's going to be nights where he goes 0 for 5. There's going to be nights where he goes 4 for 5. But can you get somewhere with the ball in your hands?
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on with him and the dribbling and the missed dunks and all this stuff. Like it does feel like there's been some regression. He knows that, he feels that, but it's the consistency. We've seen him do it. He's got to keep doing it.
I love the word you use, willingness, because you're right. That's effort. That's caring. That's giving a damn. That's what that is. That's exactly what that means. And when you grab those rebounds, and I said this last time, when you grab rebounds like that, that shows effort. And that's why everybody was so like, when they would say 7 points, they would always include the number of rebounds when they would talk about Pat. Oh, he had 6 points and 2 rebounds? Oh, he had 7 points and 3 rebounds? Because you're looking at this guy and you're like, how? Like physically, like how are you walking away with that less of rebounds? And you're starting to question effort. You're starting to question if you care. And again, that leads it back to the willingness to actually get out there and go do it. So what we've seen from these past 2 games is a willing Pat Williams out there. 8 rebounds in the first one, 7 rebounds tonight. And that makes those assist numbers look even better. That's why saying 16, 7, and 4, 18, 8, and 3. Like it sounds better when you add those rebounds to it because you're playing up to potential at that point in time.
And it's not like like I said, it's not like he had like 25, 12,
Exactly.
and 6.
Right.
And it's like, okay, that was like an incredible game. We're probably not going to – there's no reason he can't give you 14, 15, 16 points a game and 7 rebounds every night.
Right.
Like why – the Bulls need that. They need that from someone. Why can't he do that?
Why can't he do that?
Why not? Why can't he
Optimistic
be
Bulls
that
fan in the
MVP?
comments saying Pat's just playing and not thinking. He's also driving, securing the ball. Before these last 2 games, it looked like
I disagree.
he was going through the motions on drives, resulting in turnovers. What do
I
you
think he's thinking all the time. Pat doesn't play without thinking. That's not how he rolls.
No, but I think
I
optimistic Bulls fan is saying in these last couple of games where he's played better, I think he thinks that Pat's not thinking. He's just playing.
No, I get it. He's turning his brain off.
You're saying
He's just
you
doing.
disagree. Even
I'm
in
saying
these
that's
games,
not how
lost.
he operates.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not how he does, man.
That's what Billy always says. He's
Pat
like
is cerebral, bro.
he's got to get lost in the competition. You can't be thinking your way through games. You have to just react. You
Right.
have to be
It's like-
spontaneous and just be out there.
stop thinking about what you should do and go grab a goddamn rebound.
But see, for me, it's simpler for him coming off the bench because he gets to look and read and study. That's what I mean, like he's always thinking. Because when he's starting the game, and again, I'm just going off of what I've seen.
Yeah.
When he's starting the game, he's trying to fill it out. He's trying to think, what's this person going to do? What's that going to do? It seems like sitting on the bench, he gets to sit and read it and gets to figure out and say, okay, well, this guy, that guy, okay, they're going to do that. Okay, they need me to do this then because they're doing that. Okay, I got it, coach. I've just done my calculus homework. Please let me go outside. That's what it feels like.
Johnny Pigeon in the comments agrees with you, Dave, saying Pat is so much more comfortable off the bench. I don't mean it disrespectfully, but that's where he's best.
I don't
That's
think
where he should stay.
I appreciate that you said that you don't mean it disrespectfully. I think a lot of people would like maybe look down at what Pat said that last game is like, I don't want to say that I'm uncomfortable starting, but yeah, he does like coming off the bench. Like there's nothing wrong with that. If it's working for you and that's what it takes for him to be successful, by all means.
Do it.
Like lean into that. Fine. And that's what I was saying. Like when we were talking the other week about like, should the Bulls trade him or, the AK was ready to move on from Patrick or whatever the report was. It's like the Patrick, Billy, front office need to come together and figure out what can we try that can help put you in the right positions because this is about player development. It has to be. And maybe this is what it is. Who knows? But like it's 2 games. It's been 2 for 2 off the bench where he's playing well. He's obviously come off the bench before and not played well. So it's not like it's,
right. It's not
that
simple.
batting 1,000, but like
Right.
you got to keep building on this momentum. And there has to be a commitment from all 3 sides to, can we figure out a way for this to work?
Yeah.
And if you get to a point where that's not the case, and that would be a hard thing for us to like determine from the outside, right? Like that would have to come from internally. Then maybe it's time to move on. But I think that there's still work to do. And as the season progresses, and the priorities start to align in terms of like where they're headed this year, there's no reason not to give him more opportunity off the bench. And whether it's true or not, like he feels like the bench unit needs more from him offensively, and that is exciting to him. So like, why not lean into that?
Nick Galletti with an interesting comp in the comments saying it really feels like Pat's that starter in baseball that just can't start, consistently fails, but then he goes to the bullpen and finds himself in that role.
Kopech, you know what I mean? That's what he is. Kopech, when he was a starter, Michael Kopech,
right? Yeah,
the Sox fan, when he was here and he was a starter, and I used to say all the time, like, dude, that dude needs to be in the bullpen. He's a closer. Get out of here! You don't know the baseball. Get out of here, Kopech. You don't know the baseball. What are you doing? Yeah, they put him in the bullpen, and then he went to another team. The Dodgers got some more coaching, coached up better, and now, he's throwing them fire. Like, he's throwing 100 miles an hour. That's what he does. So, you have to put guys in their best situation where you feel they will be successful.
Yeah.
And I don't even care that it took this long. I just wanted to find it, you know what I'm saying, for him, because we all knew something is there with Patrick Williams. We would not be good Bulls fans or even people who care about a human being to just say, forget you. You know what I mean? Just throw it out. We don't care. We're not trying to find you in your best position so you can succeed. That's not how it is. No, we want to see him in his best position to succeed, man. We're fans like that. That's just how it goes.
Can we hit on Modest real quick?
I was going to suggest we do that quickly before we move to the trade stuff, because yes, this is now officially a Modest Buzelis podcast. Thanks for tuning in to CHGO Modest. What did you think, Goat?
I mean, he just played a lot. He played 22 minutes.
22 minutes.
He was 12 points, 4 of 6 from the field, 4 rebounds, and a block.
Ooh.
He came in, and what I thought was the best about this performance from Modest was he came in and immediately picked up 3 fouls in the first. I don't know if it was the first quarter or the second quarter. Whenever he came in, it was like very quickly. After
he came in the first, but he got his third in the second.
And the third one was absolute crap.
Mm-hmm. But it wasn't yet. I mean, it was maybe 5 or 6 minutes until halftime when he picked up that third foul, and Billy kept him out there.
He did.
And the way that Billy talks about about Modest is like there's things that he just has to go through experiences. Like he's brought up the Andrew Wiggins example when the Bulls played the Warriors and the Warriors just targeted him, went straight at him with Andrew Wiggins multiple times. You don't want to just like leave him out there to get killed by Andrew Wiggins, but you also need him to experience that, because it's like you got to just dig in and either get a stop and like figure out a way to turn off that action that they're going to.
Correct.
Or you got to come out of the game. And I thought it was really great that Modest had an opportunity to play through foul trouble. It's the first time he's had to do that. First time where he's getting real minutes in the first half and he's actually picking up fouls, and it's against a good team, and they were in the game at that point. And so for him to learn how to stop fouling, continue to play in the game, he finished with 5 fouls, but 2 fouls for the rest of the way, and to continue to play out there through garbage time, basically. I mean, just nice to see him growing in that way. I think that's the kind of like exposure to real minutes, because Billy has talked a lot about not wanting to just like let him play through mistakes, not hold him accountable to mistakes that he makes, right? And I think there's value in that, right? Like it's not just that he gets to go out there and you're the Washington Wizards and you win 6 games every year and nothing matters. Like they're trying to teach him how to be a winning player. And if you want to be a winning player, you have to be held accountable to things. And so I think it's good to a point, right? You need to expand his minutes, give him more runway. But this is the kind of thing we're starting to see that now. And this is the kind of thing where he's actually having to learn and adjust in real time of how do I stay in this game now? I've picked up 3 fouls. How do I keep going without doing that anymore?
I think first, when I said in pregame, you asked who the guy that's going to have to come up and step up.
Yeah.
And I was like, Modest Buzelis is going to have to be that one. Let's put something on him and let's see how he can handle that responsibility. Because like I said, I thought Billy was going to give him some more minutes. He did. 21 minutes for him. He responded. 12 points with the 4 rebounds. And what I liked is he didn't even start off right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He kind of had to ease into it, but he did that. He found his way out there because he had some leeway and he had a much longer leash and he knew he wasn't coming out the game. Well, like you mentioned the fouls, like to only have the 2 fouls and you're an aggressive defender who likes to block shots and you're a rookie. Like all of that is super impressive. Like you said, to only walk away with 2 more fouls. So that's still knowing how to play the game. That's using your brain and your mind too. Knowing how to play the game out there and still be aggressive and still defend. And you saw him still putting the body on guys, maybe not going up so much, trying to block every single thing, but he still was being formidable on defense, also while contributing on the offensive end as well. And the last thing I want to say is, Matt, that last play he had against Porzingis where he got fouled.
Force Within just brought it up in the comments.
Dude, that crossover when he got fouled, dude, I was like, that's not normal. That's not normal stuff that you see from a rookie, especially at that size, man. I love Modest, but y'all know this.
Connor in the comments, our guy, saying Modest doesn't play like a rookie. You can tell he's raw, but he has no fear, and the game doesn't look rushed for him in any way. I would maybe disagree a little bit on, like, you know, there are times when, especially on the defensive end, the game does look a little rushed around.
I think
Modest.
it looks very rushed for him.
Yes, but I do agree with what Connor said, that he does not play like a rookie.
No.
He does not. He has some rookie things that he has to learn and go through, as you were just eloquently stating, and I agree with that. But when he put the ball on the floor and went right at Kristaps late in that game, when he rises and fires confidently, when he has an open look, he airballed one tonight. And I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, do it again.
He also went 2 of 4 from downtown tonight. Yeah. One of those misses was an airball. You know who else airballs every night? Lonzo.
Yeah.
Like, it's about the confidence. And that is, I think, what is such a stark contrast with how Bulls fans feel about Modest in the limited minutes we've seen so far versus the, like, banging our head against the wall frustration with Pat.
Yeah.
One of these looks like a confident player. One of them does not.
It's a fearlessness thing, I think.
Yeah.
He plays the game and is looking for, how can I make an impact here? And, like, I think that's where Pat, it's like, how can I just exist in this action? Like, where do I need to be in this? It's not like a criticism, but I think that's why you feel Modest out there more. And I thought it was really cool to see Billy drop a sideline out of bounds play for him.
Yes.
They ran.
That was dope.
Oh God.
They ran like an off ball screen action where he came and slipped a screen. Jalen Smith missed him, but he just kept floating to the opposite dunker spot and then got the pin in screen for the corner 3. And, like, that's the kind of thing where it's like, okay, just move on to the next thing. Like, it wasn't there. Move on to the next thing and make the play. And that's what he did.
A couple plays after that, he had that great baseline cut for an easy dunk. Like,
this is how you just.
Where are my openings within the game?
Like, I feel like he's already making strides in reading the game and where he can be on the floor to be effective.
And Billy drawing him a play lets you know that he's noticing it too.
Yeah,
he drew a play for a rookie. Okay,
it's about time.
Wow,
it's about time.
Wow, and they got a corner 3 out of it.
Yes,
one of the best shots in the game,
and it worked. So that means Billy will do it again. If
he was the first and the second option on that play. It's really cool.
Yes, again, like when he gave him more minutes, he rewarded him with good play. So you give him success in a play he draws up for you, he's gonna give you another one, man. So yeah, Modest is earning everything he's getting out there. Shout out to him.
Shout out to him. All right, with that, let us shift gears here and spend some time talking about the latest on that NBA trade rumor mill. This was a report out of The Athletic that came out, this afternoon? A little bit before game time?
Yep.
And it is a lot of juicy stuff about the Warriors and their maybe pursuit of Jimmy, and then their other plans if they decide collectively that they do not want the human headache that is Jimmy Butler. So here's the first part of it, if you will, Katie. After pulse-taking conversations with multiple players, it seems Zach LaVine might pique more interest depending on his cost. LaVine is viewed by some within the Warriors organization as the safer option compared to Butler. At 29, he's 5.5 years younger and some $5 million cheaper than Butler this season, though his contract extends longer and he's had some recent health concerns. That is Anthony Slater and Mark Thompson, collective reporting via The Athletic.
Two of the best.
Woo! I didn't see anything in that sounded incorrect.
Yeah.
As far as Jimmy and what he can do and what Zach, more importantly, can do for the Warriors.
You know, I've been wanting Jimmy Butler to go to the Warriors. I've said this when this came out earlier. I want him to go to Warriors because the chaos would be amazing to watch.
Jimmy and Draymond
Jimmy
together.
and Draymond
Get your
on the
popcorn.
same team? Are you kidding me? The day Jimmy talks about taking a private jet to Draymond, look, man, they're going to fight on the floor. It's going to be the best.
Every game I will be sitting there watching. Like, that's just amazing comedy. I cannot wait.
Amazing comedy, all of it, man. Like, it would be the best. Like, I can't wait to watch that. And, you know, Jimmy, man, he's a mercenary. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to burn it down. That's how he rolls. Nobody else comes after me. I'm burning it all down after this. He is right in Zach LaVine fitting in perfectly there. Like, Zach, like, off the court and on the court. I think he fits very well with what Golden State does, man, as a team and as an organization.
You're saying Jimmy or Zach?
Zach. As a team and an organization, Zach LaVine fits very, very well with what the Warriors like to do. The off-ball shooting would just be
Disgusting.
out of this world. You know what I mean? It would be super crazy.
Splash Brothers 2.0, man.
Yes. And this time you're adding athleticism to it because you got a guy who can create his own shot out there now. So you can draw up your own plays, and Curry can rest on the offensive end a little bit more. And even just literal rest when he's out the game, and Zach can just run it like that. And then Zach doesn't have to be the one creating it because Draymond Green is excellent at finding you, especially if you're going to cut. And Zach LaVine definitely can cut. If you cut, Draymond, boom, you're going to get the basketball. These are easy points he will create for that offense, man. Off the court, we've seen Zach. He's been perfect. He's a model citizen off the floor. There will be no drama. All he's out there to do is win. That's all he wants to do, man. I think it's perfect if they go get a guy like Zach LaVine for them. And they need him.
I think he's a great fit. I think I might prefer Vuce's fit with the Warriors, but I think both of them would be really good.
Why would you prefer Vuce's fit more?
Just because, thinking about when Steph is off the court, I feel like it's probably more reliable to run offense through Vooch as opposed to having Zach be your primary guy. That's not to say he can't do that. We've seen him this year be that guy. But I just think that's probably more along the lines of what the Warriors might be interested in, just a guess.
And there was that stuff that we talked about leading up to that Bulls-Warriors game of Steph and Steve Kerr both talking about, sure would be nice to have a stretch five around here.
And there's commentary in the same article about their interest in Vooch, which we'll talk about in a second here. Yeah. But, Zach, I think you laid it out really nicely, Dave, which is that, you get the Klay Thompson off-ball scoring element, but you also get a more dynamic playmaker with that.
Correct.
And obviously he's not the same shooter that Klay is. Top 5 shooter of all time. Yeah. But he gives you a lot of that. He's way more dynamic with the ball in his hands. And they just need something. You watch this team and it's Steph running around screens, trying to do everything by himself. Draymond's there and doing his best, but he's not a scorer. He's not a scorer at all. No. And so it's literally just Steph and maybe Buddy Hield gets hot one night. And that's just not a recipe for making the playoffs, let alone, contending. And not to say that Zach is the difference between them being a 11 seed and winning the championship. Mm-hmm. But for me, if I'm the Warriors, I'm not trying to go out like this. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to stay closer to the top. And I think either of those guys, whether it's Zach or Vooch, keeps you there. And I think it's obviously going to cost you a lot more for Zach just because of the contracts you need to put in. Mm-hmm. It's going to have Wiggins or Draymond, probably Wiggins. And then you're attaching 3 or 4 other guys. Yeah. They've got Gary Payton, who's making $9 million expiring. Looney's making $8 million expiring. Kyle Anderson's making 8.7. So it's just a lot of salaries that they have to stack together, which is again why I think Vooch is more seamless, just because it's easier to get up to his number. But I just think that he gives them an element that they have been really searching for, which is that off-ball scoring and then the ability to create offense when Steph is off the court, and they just don't have that right now.
Yeah, Zach, he isn't the difference between the 11th seed and a championship, but he is the difference between 11th seed and contending. He will help immediately, dog, and do it.
Sometimes you just need, I think a lot of these teams are really afraid to, make the big move if it's not going to put you over the top, and I get that. But at the same point, sometimes if you just go get the number 2 guy, it can slot who you're playing at number 2, who's really a number 4, into his right role. And now Draymond can be your 3rd guy, and Buddy Hield can be your 4th guy off the bench. Or it's a little bit easier for Podziemski to start to create and develop when he's got more spacing next to him. And it just helps everything fall into place a little bit. I do think that's an overlooked thing when it comes to team building, is that everybody's just waiting for Giannis or just waiting for Kevin Durant or just waiting for Devin Booker. And a lot of times you just get left waiting because those guys don't become available. And now in the meantime, you've wasted 2 or 3 years just not improving your team.
So as you mentioned, Goat, there was also some stuff about Vooch in that report from The Athletic. Katie, if you have that and want to put that up. The Warriors have discussed Nikola Vucevic, and league sources say the Bulls' big man views Golden State as a desirable destination should Chicago decide to deal him.
Do it.
There are differing opinions on how well he'd fit and how much he's needed, but he'll remain a secondary option for the Warriors as the market materializes in the next week. So interesting that they refer to him there as a secondary option. And it seems like right now their focus is trying to decide, do we want Jimmy and do we go after him? Especially if, according to recent reports, the Heat are so ready to be done with this that they've dropped the asking price on Jimmy. Or is Zach a better fit and somebody who our locker room will hate less?
The human headache is hilarious.
And like the not as much of a pressing need thing is interesting. And look, we were talking about this in our pregame leading up to that Bulls-Warriors game very recently. Their second round rookie, Quinton Post, who had played like a grand total of 3.5 minutes all season before that Bulls-Warriors game. And then he came in and hit 5 threes in that game. And Vooch had himself kind of a dud night. And we were like, well, damn. But look.
He's starting tonight, by the way.
Which is crazy.
And who they playing?
I hope.
OKC. Down 14.
I have nothing against the young man. I hope he crashes and burns.
Oh, my God.
And plays like trash.
Yo, come on, son. Damn.
I am a Bulls fan, Dave.
Damn.
The greater good. He can bounce back. After the trade deadline, he can have all of the amazing second-round rookie night performances he wants. But before that, the Warriors need to feel they very much need Zach LaVine and or Nikola Vucevic and be willing to give us stuff for both of them.
Who do you want to see more with Golden State?
As just a basketball fan?
Yeah, Zach or Vooch.
I really love the idea of watching Zach and Steph play together.
Yeah,
I mean, it's enticing. I think Goat's point about having Vooch on the floor when Steph's getting rest minutes is a good one.
Spot on. Yeah.
Absolutely. But I more selfishly want to watch the minutes of Steph and Zach on the floor together.
No, you're right.
Yeah. That's going to do it for those of you watching on our various streaming services. Thank you for tuning in. If you want the bonus coverage, just head to allchgo.com and get the rest of it there. And we will roll along. So, look, this is just the latest in a lot of reports about teams that are calling the Bulls on these guys. It seems like the bubble will burst. Like, I know as Bulls fans, we've endured 3 straight trading deadlines where they just said, I'll stay.
I suggest you
hit, sir. And, like, I know that there are some Bulls fans, like some of them are in our comments or on Twitter, like, they're gearing themselves up for year 4 of inactivity from AK. And, like, I don't blame them for feeling like that. Like, here comes another trade line. There's a lot of talk, and then nothing happens. If they have any lick of sense, they know that they have to make these moves, or at least some of these moves, and they have to make them now.
Yeah.
Because you cannot risk losing that pick. You just cannot. And they are like, yay, Sixers winning streak. Keep it up, buddies.
Keep it up.
But look at their schedule the next week.
And if all of these reports from all of these different outlets are coming out that saying, like, hey, this team is interested in Zach LaVine, for real. And this team is interested in Vooch. And these teams are interested in Lonzo. Some of it's got to be real.
We're just looking at Philadelphia's schedule next week. It's Denver, Boston, Dallas, Miami, Detroit, Milwaukee, Toronto.
Well, that's super.
That's hard.
They can still finish 4-2 in there.
So my point exactly.
Yeah.
The Bulls cannot be messing around, skating on this fine line and walking this tightrope of, we'll 9th, maybe 10th, and we'll still keep our pick.
I like your tightrope voice.
Yeah, and my sense is that they know this and they are trying to move in that direction, but it's difficult when the teams aren't giving you what you want for your players.
Yeah.
And so there's this push-pull, as we've talked about, of I need to get something of value for these guys that I've invested in that are playing really well right now.
Yeah.
And the other teams are like, dude, you're going to lose your pick. You're trying to rebuild and you're not going to have a pick this year. What are you doing? It's like this just back and forth of like, yeah, I understand that, but like these players are good. I can't give them away.
Yeah.
And it's at a certain point, they're just going to have to come together and find a deal that makes sense for both. I don't think at this point AK is wrong to want a first-round pick for Vooch. I don't think he's wrong to want whatever he wants for Zach.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, you have to either take what's available to you or decide if you're willing to go through the rest of the season without having made a trade. And I just don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to do something.
And I think that's the question for me. Like, when is that date? What is that date where the Bulls
February
are like,
6th.
we got to do this, dog? Like, is it the 6th or is it before that?
Well, at this point, I think a lot of these teams that they're in negotiations with are also waiting.
Right.
Are the Warriors gonna end up being able to get Jimmy for really cheap, or is maybe Miles Turner going to become available and now they don't need Vooch, and now but they also can't trade for Zach, or are the Lakers going to swoop in because somebody got injured, or it's just so many different options out there. And I think if you're the Bulls, you're waiting on another buyer coming in and starting a bidding war and driving up the prices. And if you're another team, you're waiting for AK to come down with his asking price because you've got no other options and you need to tank and keep your pick.
Right. Connor in the comments pointing out there's also that, Jimmy being the first domino to fall. And then
well, now you have De'Aaron Fox in there, who's also
that. That's a bigger domino than Jimmy. Even and that's interesting because with Jimmy, it's like it's reached a point in Miami Jimmy will be traded somewhere between now and February 6th. It's just a matter of where and which teams are involved.
That's it.
With De'Aaron Fox, that was a very aggressive and fascinating report from Shams earlier today. But
I think that was basically what Clutch was trying to do with Zach last year.
Yeah. Which is,
okay, you guys are not sure what you want to do with me. I'm on board with getting traded. Let's try to get me to a place I want to go.
Right.
Except for there's a very big difference between how the league views Fox compared to how they viewed Zach last year.
Right.
That is a fact.
Yes, indeed. And clearly sounds like he wants to go play with Wemby in San Antonio, and don't blame him. And they have, as you were saying earlier while we were chatting about it, assets to get such a deal done. So yeah, I think it's going to be a spicy trade deadline.
Spicy meatball.
And I am excited, and I am cautiously optimistic the Bulls will be involved in it and not screw it up terribly.
This is amazing.
Did I convince any of you out there while I was trying to convince myself?
No, I'm proud. I haven't heard you use the word cautiously
optimistic
and the Bulls with you in 5 years.
I am.
He's usually throwing caution to the wind with his rage.
With those hats.
I am cautiously optimistic.
That's an optimistic hat.
That the Bulls will make
first ever.
one or more trades between now and next Thursday.
Let's set the over-under at 1.5. You guys taking the over-under on 1.5 trades being made?
I'll stay. Push.
They're going to make some BS small moves at a minimum. So I feel I'm taking over.
One BS small move more than they made all of the last 3 seasons.
Exactly.
But that's why I'm taking the over.
I'm going to take the over. No. Did anybody else in the NBA see Javon Carter hit a 3 tonight? Would you like a Javon Carter?
Torrey Craig is rested up, baby.
Hey, that ankle is fine.
I mean, he's rested up and looking great.
Fine.
I mean, Megan Stallion coming too. Just
you know what? I'm taking the over.
He's taking over. They're cautiously optimistic.
There will be more than 1.5 different Bulls trades made between now and a week from tomorrow. Speak it into existence. Now, am I cautiously optimistic that the Bulls will walk away from said trades winners or at least tiers? No, not at all.
That's a separate question.
Separate question.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Plenty of other evidence to not support.
Let's stick with cautiously optimistic, Peck.
I am cautiously optimistic that they'll do something.
There you go.
Whether or not I like what they do, that is a whole other spicy meatball.
Let's put it to the people in the chat. What do you guys think? Over under 1.5 trades.
Hard under for Johnny right there. Under for Drewish also.
Let us know. And also hit the like because I really want to do a Tankathon spin.
So do I. I'm sure Katie wants to do one too, but we're going to need some more likes to do that. And we are already past that hour mark. So
guys, Tankathon spin, get the likes up, man.
Now.
Don't you want to spin the wheel?
So that we can spin the wheel.
Spin it. Spin that wheel. We're going in overtime for you.
For the record, though, I'm also going over on 1.5 trades.
Yes. Come on, go.
Over.
Speaking it into existence.
Even optimistic Bulls fan is under. It's in his name.
Under.
Well, they want to keep the team together. They're going continuity.
Matty Legend, under the under.
Under the under is hilarious.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, my
The Bulls are going to make negative 1.5 trades.
Oh, my gosh,
how does
man.
a negative trade even work? Like, you clone one of the players you already have.
There's an over. Connor with an over.
Come on, Connor.
All right.
Let's go.
There you go.
Just like the Bulls,
I'll stay. Rolling with me, Force. I'll stay. Alberto taking the over.
Let's go.
Okay. All right. I'm taking the over. All right. That's not bad. It can happen. I want it to, but again, I have no evidence to back this up that they would. They will make one for sure. I am convinced, 100% convinced, they will absolutely make a trade for sure. Whether it be Zach, whether it be Vuce, even if it's Javon, they're going to make a trade.
If it's noon Central Time a week from tomorrow, and I will start calling NBA teams pretending to be AK and being like, yo, what do you want? What do we need to do to get this deal done?
It's me.
I feel like I've listened to enough of that man's press
Peck?
Conferences where if I gave it a little bit of practice time over the next week, I could probably pull off a semi-convincing, at least over the phone version of AK's voice.
Pull out that theater background, man. I believe
just a little character study, man.
Yeah, man. That's it.
I can get it done.
What's his motivation? Yes.
Not getting fired.
Boom. Got it. Give me the phone. Got it. Let's go.
I don't even need the script.
Let's do it live.
A little improv.
We'll do it live.
All right. Hey,
Spin the
Briscoe
button.
showing in, saying under. Come on, Briscoe, have faith.
Come on,
Spin the
Briscoe.
button, hit the like.
Spin the button.
Spin the button is hilarious.
Spin the button, hit the like.
Under is cash money. Shout out to Gio with that.
Yeah,
Wow.
the under is like
Under is-
minus 1,000.
Yeah. Under is kicking it, man. All right. Well, are we ready to spin?
I would love nothing.
Enough
more.
likes
Let's
to
take
spin?
all
How many do we
over
have?
1.5 optimism into the tank.
79 likes is where you're at.
Okay. I don't know what the rules are. I'm just
I
sitting
think
here.
it's enough. I'm gonna let it happen.
Oh, so you're going to let it happen. All right.
All right. So with that,
We need to, can you play
Bulls-
Royal Fanfare into the lead up?
No.
right,
I'm
I
gonna
tried.
reset
Sorry,
first.
Okay, reset first.
As usual.
I tried.
Oh no! Stop it.
What? It.
Reset.
Uh,
Sim lottery.
what's it say?
Oh,
It
we're
jumped to
number
third.
3.
It jumped
Hey!
to 3. Let's go.
There it
Let's
is.
go.
Number
Who you guys
The
like at number
smallest
3?
screen is in, I can't see it.
Yeah,
Number
it's
3?
you're always blocking the thing. I can't see it.
Well, you can see it if you look at the actual preview screen.
can't see
We're
it that
literally
far. It's
telling
too
you we
small.
can't see it.
Okay.
We're literally saying
Get
it.
better glasses. I don't
It's
know.
too
what's
small.
telling
We
you.
just can't get excited
It's
about
our
it.
fault.
Put
It's
your
our fault.
second pair of
It's okay.
glasses
We
back
can't.
on, Will.
We just can't get excited about winning the Will Gottlieb lottery.
I got you, man. I got you. Will the Gottlieb lottery.
What do you guys
mean-
like at number 3?
You gotta
I don't know
ask
either.
me. You know where I'm at, bro. You already know where I'm at.
People in the comments are so honestly in this draft. If you jump to 3, you're stoked
Yeah.
because that means you are getting one of Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, or Ace Bailey.
You're getting Ace Bailey.
Yeah.
You're getting Ace Bailey probably, but still.
Deal.
Honestly, BJ Edgecombe.
Edgecombe,
is
dude.
fine.
Edgecombe's
I was
nice.
watching some
I really
Edgecombe
wanted to
clips
like
that,
him the most.
that our guy
and he
Ricky
is-
O had
he is-
put on
yeah.
Twitter the other day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to watch more VJ Edgecombe, man. That guy looks nice.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
like really just going off right now.
His
he
handles-
started the season very poorly.
He's got sick handles. He's got crafty finishes around the rim.
Yeah. He's
Like,
nice, man.
Man, I like him.
He's
He
nice.
kind of reminds me of Anthony Edwards, to be honest.
Oh,
Oh.
just gotta throw the ant
Nice
comp
one.
out there.
Similar style of play. I mean,
I like
obviously
that.
Anthony Edwards is
Sure.
a superstar, but
Super
Hey
star.
Julia. All right, yeah. Let's get out of that night on a dub. The
On a
Bulls
dub.
jumping to 3 in the tankathon spin. I love that. Bulls are off tomorrow, as are we. We will be back in action when the Bulls return to action Friday night. Another road game. Toronto, in Toronto, 6:30 tip Central Time.
They've
6
been
p.m.
winning.
pregame Central Time.
Yeah.
Love these 6:30 tips. They're beautiful. And in the meantime, follow the GOAT, Will_Gottlieb. Read his stuff, allchgo.com. Become a diehard to read all of it and the very best of it. Big Dave is at Bow. BWL Sports. I'm Bulls_Peck. We are CHGO_Bulls. Shout out to the Queen of the Controls and the Tankathon Spins, the one and only Katie Duffy. GOAT, for those who missed pregame, you are jetting out for a while.
yes, I'll be out of town, out of the country for the next 9 or 10 days. So I will not be here for the deadline, sadly enough. I love the trade deadline. I'll miss it.
Devastating.
I'll miss you
Christmas.
guys.
It's your favorite time of year.
I mean, it is.
It's
He
that and
lights
the
up
trade
like
deadline.
no other.
I don't know which I like more between the trade deadline and the draft, but
But it's your
those
time.
are my 2 favorite days.
This is
So
true.
I'll miss it. I'll miss you guys, but I'll try to call in at some point and I'll have some writing up. May not be right away, but I'll do my best to get stuff out there as soon as possible.
Yes, indeedy. And we will have you covered while he is gone. We will have a trade deadline show live on Thursday afternoon for
Maybe
those of
some
you who want to
guests.
skip work or
Destitute.
ignore your work and watch us while you're at work
Yeah.
on deadline day. And yeah, we'll bring in some guests and have some fun. And of course, Uncle Will be here for the home games in that span. So plenty of fun to be had on deck, but enjoy your Thursday. Enjoy the start to your Friday. We will be here 6 p.m. pregame for Bulls Raptors to help kick off your weekend. Hit the like button on your way out for a number 3 in the Take It Down Spin. Be really good.
Salty discharge.
We all silly like the mayor.